if users can multiply and create value, and we see on the left the Time magazine cover that we saw in 2005, and then we see the Time magazine cover in 2007 for the iPhone and the iPhone app, that is the next step. Now, all of a sudden, you have another device, a smartphone, that has all of the same characteristics of digital economics and of the web that the laptop and the PC had, but now is so much more mobile and has so many more things that it can do, besides being in the hands of many, many more billions of people because of Asia and Europe than the laptop is. So if users are the key to creating and multiplying value, whether it be on the laptop or on the smartphone, as in an iPhone, what do companies do? Well, companies in this equation, like Apple, have figured out by now some very, very clever ways to monetize that value. Okay? So we talk in web2 lingo as taking users and helping monetize or capture the value that they create, versus in the past where we thought about how do we create value by creating products. So here we think about revenue per user as being our key metric of what we're trying to do. What are all the possible revenue streams that users can give us, some of them direct, as in subscriptions, and some of them indirect, as in when an advertiser pays for your click, or if someone subsidizes and gives you a transaction fee for a click. So there are many ways to make money in this new world that are not the ways that we are used to making money in the old economy. Now, what are the other ways in which companies monetize? All of us know the well-known sort of companies like Facebook and Google and others like that. But are there any industrial companies that can benefit from Web 2.0? Well, that's why I put at least one picture of a very well-known, I would have gone on to the next slide, but this one is such an important one, I'll go back to it. Why do we have this man sitting on different bars of gold? It's not actually a metaphor. It's a very great story of Web 2 for the industrial world. If you can think of what would be one of the most traditional, most sort of one of the first activities that people did, it would be gold mining, mining for precious metals. We know of many ancient civilizations that had this as their business. And the person sitting on that gold is actually Rob McEwen. He was someone who was the CEO of a gold mining company in Canada. And he looks very happy here, but before he heard about Web 2.0 and the web, he looked much sadder because he had a failing company. He had not found in his area of Canada a new vein of gold for over 2 years. And so his company was going bankrupt. Fortunately, he went to a seminar at MIT where they spoke about open systems and open source and the idea that people would contribute their information and their knowledge to computer systems. And he came away inspired. And he said, what if we could do this for my company? What if we put the data about my geographic location, about the geological information that we have in our data banks, and we asked people all over the world to become virtual prospectors and offer them a prize if they actually found gold? doesn't that sound like a fun game? Sort of like 17,000 people decided to play this game and actually tried to use his geological data to find gold. And guess what? It turned out that 3 or 4 people from very unusual disciplines, one of them in a computer visualization area, another of them in a electrochemical engineering area, by using the data, were able to come up with new ways to slice and dice the data and analyze it to actually get to gold veins that this company could use to become very, very profitable in the next 2 years. And all they paid for this was, I think, something like $60,000 in prize money. So an amazing way of crowdsourcing information and the knowledge of many different fields over the web saved this man and makes him smile now because he's sitting on a pile of gold that he has gotten from his gold mine. Let me just go ahead and say that's why companies monetize. Now we're going to turn to the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, what we're starting to see in this year, 2010, so in the halfway point of the next decade of the web, we start to see users who are not only crowdsourcing, but crowd sensing. Okay? Why do I call it crowd sensing? Well, it turns out that what we used to do was only use users' data from what they said or what they actually put on the web in text or in video or in pictures. Now, all of a sudden, we can connect to all of the sensors and the machines that are out there already. Your cell phone has several sensors in it, doesn't it? It knows your position. It knows lots of things. Your car has hundreds of sensors in it. Almost every item we have, from a refrigerator to our desks and to our buildings, have sensors in them. In fact, many of our items, industrial items, have RFID tags on them now. So all of these sensor information is now becoming available to us as individuals, and we're starting to use them for better choices and better decisions. So users themselves can crowd sense. So these 3 pictures are kind of the key of what I'm going to talk about, or what we're going to talk about today. Is I said I would tell you a little bit more about government 2.0, government in the web 2.0 era, energy 2.0, and health 2.0. So this is the next 5 years is where companies were gaining value and capturing and monetizing value from users. Now, municipalities, cities, governments, energy, and healthcare groups are going to be able to capture value as well from both sensors and from the information that we upload and share on the web.